Hello everyone, we're on the cusp of Elimination Chamber and the anticipation is rising, folks. Tremendous tags, black eyes, roses deployed, and Goldberg redefined. Or is he? I'm Casualeann, come with me. Jackie Redmond and Madcap welcome us to Talking Smack and a forthcoming conversation on a new match for Elimination Chamber. They start with a war of words between Roman Reigns and Goldberg. The tribal chief threatens the Hall of Famer, declaring that he's going to Goldberg. Goldberg's a verb. Yep. At first I was kind of like, ugh. But the line started to grow on me. There's this collision of disrespect and respect all in two names, or the same name twice. Verbs are an open class, so we're gonna make them a little more open. Let me know in the comments, how do you define Goldberg? Jackie Redmond asks Peter Rosenberg, the special guest host, if this is one comeback too many. Rosenberg takes us back to his childhood, how he couldn't believe for a child named Rosenberg that there was such a thing as Goldberg. This is why it hurts him to say that he does think it's one comeback too many. He believes that the past Lashley matches have exposed his weaknesses. This is all the more dangerous when facing Roman, who Rosenberg says is in his absolute prime. Camp emphasizes, on the other hand, how long Goldberg's wanted this match, 2 years, and the fact that he did defeat Bobby Lashley. This means that Reigns cannot underestimate him. Rosenberg counters that it was 2 years ago. When you're somebody Goldberg's age, that's like dog years. And he just generally casts a lot of doubt on whether the man still got it in him. There was this weird hip-hoppy / generic music going on in the background for like half the segment. I don't know if something went wrong with the sound or if Rosenberg had something going. No clue, but it was strange. They moved to Corbin and the Swiss cheese Superman Cesaro. Okay, that was corny. But all they do is poke holes in the man. And this time it came at the hands of the undefeated Happy Corbin. Know why he's undefeated? Because he barely wrestles. Why is it convincing that someone who barely wrestles beats... You know what? I'm gonna leave it at that. Camp points out that Corbin kind of separated himself from Drew McIntyre and left Madcap Moss to his own devices for the night. Madcap's faking a really black eye to get out of his Elimination Chamber match with McIntyre, and the SmackDown Warrior gives him the ultimate in eye tests once the doctor asks Moss to tell him what he sees. Spoiler alert, he sees Angela, McIntyre's sword. This causes a miraculous recovery in Moss, just in time to find out that the match is now Falls Count Anywhere. I guess laughter really is the best medicine, just takes a while to kick in. Drew's statement that he may say, screw it, anything goes, kind of hints at him circumventing the rules of the match. That does initially sound a little odd for a babyface, but if the whole premise for this is the Happy People tried to destroy his career, justified rage is as good a motivator as any. Megan Morant congratulates Happy Corbin on his win over Cesaro. Happy Corbin asserts he's been on a roll ever since that night in Vegas and lays out their victory party. Cigars, bourbon, craps, poker on him. Sounds like the SpaghettiOs staying. Corbin is probably on his way back. But he says after that, it's back to work for them because of Moss's match against McIntyre. So Morant questions if Moss was trying to get out of this contest by being with the trainer. And Madcap points at his eye and states he was seeking medical attention. And this insane man with a sword came at him and made him lie and say that he was all right when he really isn't. But it's gonna be okay because he is going to make Drew McIntyre pay. They mimicked the Drew choking thing after they wrapped the chair around his neck, and they giggle off. Undefeated Corbin, etc. Love the heelish spin of the details. This match is happening. The scheme didn't work, but the jester is up to his bells in it. He's not okay, and he is not budging on that story. But it works. That way, when Drew wins, Madcap's got a built-in excuse for losing to him. After ads, there's replay of Natalya and Aliyah part 89. The entire feud feels like a replay, but at least this time, we got to see Xia Li. I've missed her since her first couple of appearances. I only hope that we'll get more of her story as time goes on. They built so much of her through those comic-style narratives, and I want to see the grown-up version of that. What makes the Protector? Next, there's a rundown of another rematch that worked a lot better. Kofi Kingston and Big E versus Los Lotharios. Jackie Redmond says it looked like Umberto floated into that moonsault. Perfect way to describe it. There was a kiss cam during the Lethal Lovers entrance, even though I thought kiss cams were between two fans, but who knows? And who more fitting to pose questions to than the Lethal Lovers themselves? Moran wants to know about the statement Los Lotharios made this week after being distracted the week before. Umberto points out that they weren't on the same page, especially after the New Day ruined their photo shoot, but this time, they won, and what a perfect Valentine's Day present. With that in mind, Angel proceeds to hand Umberto 2 boxes of chocolates and then grab, I don't know how many dozens of roses, maybe 1. Before Megan Morant can get any ideas, Angel says the roses are gifts from their fans, but she can have one. So charming. And then they go out of frame. Scooting along into the tag team title picture, they show the Usos beating the Viking Raiders down and stealing their masks. Redmond asks what kind of threat the Raiders pose to the Usos. They don't. Camp gives them a boost. He says that's why the Usos are attacking them now, because they are concerned about Eric and Ivar. I mean, the Viking Raiders are fine, but unfortunately that's really about as much enthusiasm as I have for them these days. Plus, the Usos story is so tightly bound to Roman Reigns, it's gonna take some sort of heroic feat of storytelling to give them an individual rivalry that feels real to them. But it's not out of the realm of possibility. From there, the conversation centers around Sonya getting sat down for about an hour and a half. What I didn't understand about this was that the email Adam Pearce read from Vince McMahon said that Sonya was not supposed to touch Naomi for the night, not just the match. Shouldn't her job have been seriously in danger the moment she put her hands on Naomi? It doesn't matter if it was post-match, it was still during the night. But despite the competitive nature of the match itself, after Naomi lost, her importance was mitigated again when Ronda has to come out and save her. This is starting to sound more familiar than I'd like. Megan Morant gives Naomi her due, stating she put up one heck of a fight, and the Queen Charlotte Flair agrees. She calls Naomi the second greatest athlete in the company. Of course, she's number 1. But Ronda found out why people call her the Opportunity. Speaking of calls, can we please stop calling her Naomi? Charlotte went back and forth throughout the interview, and yes, it does matter. Trinity literally pronounces her own ring name Naomi. I'm just saying. Morant asks about Charlotte's thoughts about the upcoming tag match, her and Sonya versus Ronda and Naomi. She notes she's just beaten Naomi and Ronda's never beaten Charlotte. They go straight to the card from there. Turns out this wasn't made official until after the show went off the air. Peter Rosenberg expresses his surprise at this match. He's been entertained by the Sonya Deville-Naomi conflict, and now we're to be treated to a WrestleMania sneak preview. He reveals a certain affinity for Sonya. Okay. I guess they're gonna try to get all they can out of Ronda while she's here, but I didn't need Flair Rousey before Flair Rousey, especially when we already get bits and pieces of it on television. But it should be a great tag match, and I'm excited to see Sonya Deville in something extended. All of them will be great. Redmond asks which team is stronger, and Rosenberg says he cannot bet against Ronda right now, but Camp thinks the money is in the partnership between Sonya and Charlotte, which is fair. This is the first time we're seeing Ronda and Naomi as a pair, but Charlotte has been looking out for Sonya for weeks now. My rating is 4 out of 5. Solid show. Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin are saturated in rich douchedom. But just underneath all of that is just a little bit of fear. Moss is getting his excuses ready. Charlotte doesn't flinch on being the queen, but still doesn't treat Naomi like she's nothing, just like she doesn't matter. Los Lotharios epitomize the family tag team, who are still just a little too good looking for it to not get to their heads. Inside of that though, they've got each other's backs, and the Lethal Lovers have love for their fans. So the must watch. This one was a bit tough, but I think the one to go with is Los Lotharios. They delivered the biggest laughs of the show, and Megan Morant went right along with all the antics. What do you think? Again, what does Goldberg someone mean? How is the Falls Count Anywhere match between Drew McIntyre and Madcap Moss going to unfold? Will Naomi get a fair shake in this tag team bout? Will it reveal who might win at WrestleMania? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Tap that bell icon to make sure you get notifications for when new videos come out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.